So my name is Moe Kekana. I'm an art director. I work at King James and I do a little bit of type and illustration in the very little spare time that I have. Single piece of advice I would have is that you need to always have something bigger than the immediate brief that you're working on. And I say that because people often talk about that really great moment when you're working on an awesome piece and it's 3 o'clock in the morning and you haven't eaten and you can't remember the last time you did eat and you haven't slept. But that doesn't always happen and you're not always excited to do it. And so you need something bigger than the immediate brief because no one's going to put themselves or their health or their sanity on the line for soap or for what's here. It needs to be something bigger that you're working towards. I think some work that I definitely admired, and it still stands now, was the 2008 Obama campaign. And that was around a time when I was learning about product intrinsics and how a product has to be basically good, otherwise people will buy it, and if your advertising's good, and then be disappointed. And now this wasn't a soap, it wasn't a vodka, it wasn't anything in particular, this was a presidency. And this was a product that would effectively change the way you live your life for 4 years at a time. And the way that they sold it and the way they did, I'd never seen that before. And I didn't know advertising could do that. I think the strangest thing that happened was when I finished my internship at King James. It was the last day and I lived down the road and I'd gone home and I figured, well, I'm home, there's a bar up there, I'm done, let me go have a few drinks, may as well, I'm a student, I'm broke. And then when I got there, Alistair kind of walked in the bar a little bit later and said, right guys, you need to grab a couple of beers, we're going to take this back to my house. Cut to me, a couple of us in his lounge, me playing Guitar Hero, the creative director there, his wife's there, and I'm just thinking I was going to go home and just kind of watch series. And a little while later, Dev, the creative director, slips me his card and he says, the fact that you're here is a good sign. Give us a call when you graduate. My biggest learning, by far, from Red&Yellow is that there's more than one answer. I would encourage parents to send their kids here because I found it was out of the norm, but in a good way. I was exposed to a completely different mix of people and a completely different way of looking at the world. And for those of us who seem like we're slightly left of center or on the edge of crazy, it's kind of a really cool place where you realize you're not and that there are very crazy people around you.